Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. We're going to be talking about the Jasper Rotary Club Athena Awards. I know the program won't come up until August, but they need your help getting some nominees. Joining us in the studio is a past Athena Award winner, and that is Tonya Heim.
Good morning.
Good morning. Also joining us is a past nominee, and that is Julie Dutchess. Thanks to both of you for being here this morning.
You're welcome, Bill.
And you are both Jasper Rotarians.
We are.
Now, the Athena Award is what, for those that don't know?
Oh,
Do you want to take this?
Well, I guess I can do that. The Athena Award really recognizes women for their professional career, what they've done through that to progress. They also, it is also recognizing them for community service and for helping to raise other women up to help them, mentor them, or help them throughout their careers. So it's really a well-rounded award about leadership, because either one of them, whether it's community, other women, or their own career, it's about their leadership.
Okay, and then the Jasper Rotary Club honors them. You get nominees, and then from those nominees, one person will be named the Athena Award winner.
Well, first of all, we get, our nominees, and we have a committee that reviews those nominations. It's really a very difficult process because there are a lot of deserving women.
Yeah.
But we score each nomination. And then from that, we establish the finalists for the program, and that might range from 4 to 7 finalists, depending on the number of nominations. And then the person with the highest score from our structured scoring process is the recipient. We really consider them all winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because every one of them deserves to be recognized. And so everybody gets an Athena trophy, but we just have one that is the primary recipient of the night.
Now, that award will be given out August 18th, which is a long time from now. But you need people to now nominate.
Right.
Let's talk about the process for nominations. And maybe one of the first things to know is let the person you're nominating know. Right?
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
It's not a secret.
We think that's really important. Our deadline for the nominations is May 2nd, but it's already the end of March now. Yeah. So, we're past halfway in March. It is not too early to start working on that process. You want to, first of all, identify someone that you think is deserving, and then please go talk to them, because nobody knows everything they've done in their life other than them. The people they work with know what they've done at work. The people they volunteer with know what they do in the community. Their mentees know what they've done as a mentor. And you really need some time to pull all of that together and put the nomination form together, get some letters of support, so that the committee, when we go through and score these nominations, we've got good information to base that on. So.
And it's important to start that early, because it may take a week or two just to convince that person to let them be nominated. Yeah. Because the people that are generally nominees are not braggarts.
They're not looking for recognition.
They just do what they do because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. But that's why we need to recognize them, so others, the young women that are coming up underneath, need to understand how they got there. The thing I like the most about it is they come from all walks of life.
Yes.
Every year you're just surprised at what all people do that you had no idea those type of things needed to be done. Or it's heartwarming. It's also needed in our community so that we have a balance of how we recognize people for their leadership.
And oftentimes we think of, okay, well, this person's the president of this, or this person is a vice president of this company, and they're a big person, they're really important. But sometimes it's the other people, which we've had nominees from, who you go, who is this person? Oh, this is the things they've done. So there's a lot of learning in that way, too.
Yeah, it's not about your title necessarily, but it is about growth in your development throughout your career. So that could take you really anywhere. I liked last year, I think it was when we were here, and I had just mentioned, we have women in farming. And that community...
her accomplishments were incredible.
And immediately we got a somebody got with Samula or Sam Schweppe, and what an important story for people to hear. Every one of the finalists every year are in awe of everybody else's stories. It's
It's
amazing.
It's really a neat process.
Yeah.
Now, the process, what do you do physically? What needs to be done? What website do you go to? How do you get a nomination form? How long will it take to fill out?
And Tanya's the
I'm the
nomination
nomination lead this year. So you want to go to www.jasperrotary.com. Just spell out in lowercase, jasperrotary.com. And there is a link on there to the nomination form. You pull that up. You can fill it out. It's a fillable PDF, so you can fill it out on your computer. You don't have to print it off and try to type it up and get it to fit in a space. And then we also have attached to that nomination form a top 10 tips on how to nominate someone. So Athena provided that for us, so we wanted to make sure that anybody that was thinking about nominating this year would have that as well. The form itself, the nomination form itself, is about 3 or 4 pages long, so
Yeah.
it's not incredibly long. It really covers those 3 areas: their success in their career, their contributions to the community, and how they've helped other women. Those are really the 3 areas that the form goes through. And then you want to gather those letters of support. But you want to get the stories from the people that they've worked with and incorporate that. And you really want to show their progress over time. Not just what they're doing right now, but show that their trend of working with women over time, or with contributing to the community over time, and all of that, because we as a community haven't done a good job historically of recognizing women for their contribution. And so, that was one of the reasons. Dan Culligan actually is the one that brought it to our club. He had seen it in Seymour, Indiana, I think, when he worked there. Columbus, I think he was in Columbus maybe, that they did it there. And he said, our club really should do this. He has daughters. So it was important to him that his daughters have a role model. And so, the club really put our arms around it and wanted it to be a really nice event. And, for the person being nominated, it is easy to say, no, I'm not doing this because I want recognition. But you also need to realize that you are that role model for the younger generation. And it also, part of our, a portion of our money that we get from the event goes to the recipient's charity of choice in their name. So it's an opportunity for them to make a contribution to a charity they believe in, probably greater than they might do individually. So, for those reasons, women really need to consider saying yes when someone approaches them and say, hey, I think I want to nominate you. Because really, we honor every one of the finalists right along with the recipient, but it's the recipient that gets the charity of choice designation.
Who are some of the past winners? And I know we said we may not be able to go through because there's so many, but this is
10.
10
This
years.
will be our
year.
10th anniversary, 10th
Okay.
annual, let's just say.
Let's mention some of them.
So in 2012, that was our first year. Jane Chappell was our recipient, and she chose Mentors for Youth as her charity. In 2013, it was Brenda Stallings. There's no question that she has accomplished a lot.
Absolutely.
Both of those are, exemplars here in our community. Brenda chose Junior Achievement. Kathy Treader from Ferdinand News was our next recipient, and she chose Crisis Connection. Nancy Eckerly, from the Chamber, she also has contributed a lot to the community. She chose Freedom Reigns. Just look at the scope of contributions that have been made to
Connie
organizations.
Noss.
Connie
Tonya,
Noss.
Heim.
Connie was, the first female mayor in Huntingburg, and she contributed a lot politically and to her community, and she chose Teen Out Back. I chose Girls on the Run when it was my turn. Kim Messmer was our 2018 recipient. She had half go to the Mary Kay Foundation. because she's part of the Mary Kay organization and Crisis Connection. Dr. Lori chose the Community Chew organization in 2020.
Yeah, we didn't have the
We all
event.
know how 2020 was.
We won't speak about 2020.
Yeah, but we did recognize the essential workers in 2020. And in 2021, this last year, Kelly Klaus was our recipient, and she chose her charity to be the Sisters of St. Benedict. So a lot of organizations have benefited from this, and
We've been able to recognize 39 women over those
altogether.
years.
Because with each of these winners, there was at least 4, if
the
not
recipient, yeah.
7
4,
other
6,
people
yeah.
that, If someone nominated previously can be nominated again?
Yes, in fact, we
Okay.
encourage that.
Okay.
Because honestly, you know, as years go by, you know, that nomination that went in 1 year is going to be a very different nomination than it is 3, 4, 5 years later. You know, because these women,
'Cause
they don't
just
stop.
Yeah, they don't-
Right.
They don't stop what they're
Stop
doing for
doing
the
what they're
community.
doing.
They keep doing those things that they do.
And
So-
before we run out of time, I don't want to run out of time before we thank our sponsors.
Yes.
Because, well, you know, the Rotary Club does put this on, but it's our sponsors that really help us to make this event a wonderful night. And we're lucky to have sponsors that stay with us. And so our first sponsors, sorry for touching my mic. First sponsors that have come in already are German American and Memorial Hospital and Healthcare, and they were the 2 originals because Tonya and Dan really got this promoted,
Yeah, we
and
were
they
the
both
ones
worked.
that got the Rotary Club to say, "Hey, we really need to support this."
That's right, and so and Kimball International is also, they've been with us for many of those years as well.
And we appreciate all of our platinum sponsors so much.
Absolutely, and we're waiting for a few more.
Okay, and you will take other sponsors?
Absolutely,
Okay.
and we will get the gold, silver, and bronze letters out
That'll
as
be
soon as we know closer to,
Probably closer to May.
yeah.
Now, the Rotary Club, this is a fundraiser for you.
Yeah, it's our major
A certain
fundraiser.
amount goes to the charity of choice from the Athena
Right.
Up
Award
to
winner.
2,000.
Now, the Rotary Club, you do great projects, and each year you choose, not each year, or is it every 2 years
No,
you
every
choose
year.
a project? Okay,
Every year
So do we know the project maybe
Well,
ongoing?
you know, I appreciate you asking that question because we actually are in the middle of our grant
Okay.
request process right now. So any not-for-profit in the community can apply for a grant. That deadline is this coming Monday, the
Yeah,
21st. And
of
then
March.
during the month of April, we're going to have these nonprofits come in and sort of give us their spiel, why they deserve the grant, all of those projects that we've mentioned, that you've heard on the radio this as well. That's how we fund those. And part of the funding comes from our district Rotary. So any funds, any
They match.
donations that go to Rotary
Good.
International actually come back to the community and they match our grants. But then once everybody goes through their spiel, then the club will vote and decide who the recipient is this year, and that grant recipient will get up to about $12,000.
And this is
So
really
it
the
has a
highest
major
we've
impact.
had for,
Yeah, it's a major impact.
because previously we did have 3 years because we wanted to make an impact to a charity. But now we've gotten money in our foundation. We have a local at the Du Bois
An
County.
endowment at the Du
Yeah.
Bois County Foundation.
And plus we can give money there individually, and the money we get, we're putting in there so we have sustainability, right? That's why you have a foundation. And I'm so excited because that's, so that really means 6,000 is coming out of our account and 6,000 is coming out of our district because they will match our grant.
And don't worry if you are part of a organization that has missed being able to apply for a grant here, or even like grants at the Community Foundation, any of those. What you decide in the coming weeks is also a lesson for your organization to apply next year
Yes.
or for
Right.
the next time. So always be thinking of that. So right now we are needing nominees for the Athena Award.
Nominations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now it's really important. Be thinking about who you want to nominate. Go talk to them. convince them to let you nominate them, and then start identifying the other people, sort of the village,
community, yeah.
their community, their village, and start talking to them to put that nomination form together. JasperRotary.com is where you need to go to get that nomination form. May 2nd is the deadline. We have to have it by end of day May 2nd, because then we're going to start scoring those.
And it takes a good time to
read all the
of them and
nominations
really
and be
put
ready.
your mind thought into how you score for those.
And then you'll be back to let us know who has been the nominee finalists.
yeah.
And then
Yes.
we'll have you come in again and talk about the show coming up on the 18th of August.
Yeah, we do release the names of all the finalists in advance. We do not, nobody but one person in the club, the person that adds up all the scores, and that'll be Julie this year. She'll be the only one until that night who knows who the recipient is.
Excellent.
So that is a big secret, and we keep
Yeah.
it that way so that, we really want to recognize all of those finalists, and then that night we make public the recipient.
Ladies, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks, Bill.
The Jasper Rotary Club Athena Awards are coming up in August, but they need your nominations
Now.
today. So go online, jasperrotary.com. Our guests have been Tonya Heim and Julie Dutchess. Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We are local people watching local people.